There's a brutal truth nobody's telling you, but it's the one thing standing between where you are now and where the top 0.1% are living and winning every single day. You feel it, don't you? That pressure pushing from all sides. Everyone has an opinion on what success looks like, how you should act, what paths are worth following. But deep down, almost nobody understands the real game, the real capitalism, the exact moves that create lasting power and unstoppable growth. The kind of growth that isn't about luck, privilege, or falling into some system's scripted roles. The kind of growth that turns founders into legends, investors into architects of the future, and leaders into movements that shake the earth. Here's the first cut of what they know. Capitalism, at its core, is a wild, chaotic beast, but it is not a game of luck. It's a game of ownership, control, and relentless adaptation. The top 0.1% don't just participate. They own the rules and rewrite how the game works. They don't chase the headlines, trends, or the safe bets. They see beyond the mirage, the smoke and mirrors the world constantly shows you to keep you busy, distracted, and compliant. They see that your greatest asset isn't money. It's your independence. It's your ability to say no, to reject the systems built to trap the many and crush the exceptional. They live on the edge that the masses fear, the edge where comfort dies and greatness is born. But you already know this frustration. You know what it's like to hit walls that no one explains how to break through. You're tired of hearing the same vague advice, tired of grinding in isolation while the system pretends it's fair and equal. You're angered when mediocrity is celebrated and brilliance is sidelined. And worse, you feel disconnected, like the rare energy you carry is misunderstood or even unwelcome. That spark inside you, it's screaming to be liberated, but who's handing you the key? Who's showing how to turn that spark into a wildfire? Because here's the painful truth nobody admits. Greatness, the kind the 0.1% has, is never accidental. It's forged by a brutal, relentless rejection of the old, a discovery of what no one else sees, and a ruthless alignment with the few who burn just as bright as you do. It's not about working harder. It's about playing smarter. It's not about finding more opportunities. It's about creating opportunities so rare nobody else could ever touch them. They know capitalism is less about money flow and more about flow of power. And power comes from connections, raw, authentic, hyper-focused connections with people who aren't afraid to challenge everything. The top 0.1% engineer these links carefully, like an invisible network of high-voltage wires running through the world's most important engines of change. But these networks aren't built by chance. They are built by design, patience, and by the courage to burn away noise, to clear the space so truth and potential can roar through. Listen. If you're battling the noise every day, drowning in endless meetings and empty promises, stuck in echo chambers that mimic status quo instead of smashing it, this is your moment to break free. The power comes from owning your narrative so fiercely that no one can rewrite it without your say. It's about standing like a fortress against the tides, pushing you to blend in, to follow the herd, to skim the surface, to settle for less. You have to refuse to live a borrowed life, the one filled with neat boxes and small dreams. The 0.1% reject borrowed lives relentlessly. They unlearn everything society has tried to imprint on them. That comfort is safety, that rules are protection, that the world owes them fairness. Those are myths crafted to cage you softly, to make you compliant. The key they hold is this: true freedom is ruthless sovereignty over your own will. No title, no system, no country or party can grant it. Only you can take it. And keep it by questioning everything, especially what you think you already know. They understand the fast lane isn't always the one paved with best intentions. Sometimes it's the edge where honesty is brutal, where patience is weaponized, and where the long game is the only game worth playing. They understand eternity favors those who build slow, who bend reality with their vision rather than chase quick wins. And this isn't just theory, it's battle-tested reality. The top 0.1% know the system won't help you build this kind of freedom because the system protects itself by cheapening excellence and selling conformity. Most people today aren't raised to become rare. They're processed in factories of mediocrity. The powerful few understand this and instead build alternative infrastructures, networks that refuse to scale noise and instead amplify essence. Spaces where the rare can actually meet, connect, and create without drowning in the crowd. Imagine what would happen if you plugged into that kind of network. A place where your brilliance isn't sidelined, but supercharged by being aligned with equally fierce minds. That's the true capitalist edge. Power multiplied through synergy, not hoarded. It's where the misunderstood become unstoppable, where your rare vision no longer fights for air, but fills rooms. The top 0.1% don't settle for the empty promises of comfort. Comfort is a cage with velvet walls. What they want is the fire that burns through limits, the kind of fire born from deep rebellion, not just against the system, but against every lie that tells you to stop, to blend, to wait for permission. They don't wish for easier lives. They make their lives theirs, and that difference is everything. It's what separates founders who build legacies from those who just run businesses. It's what separates investors who create new markets from speculators who chase trends. It's what separates leaders who change futures from managers who grab at power without evolving. The secret? It's not in playing by old rules, but in rewriting them silently, relentlessly, with focus so sharp it cuts through all the noise. It's in a refusal to settle for anything less than radical transformation of yourself and your world. To become so selective that you only work with those who share your fire, because alignment is power, not compatibility. The top 0.1% choose carefully. They know every relationship, every deal, and every move either fuels the fire or lets it flicker out. This might sound ruthless, but it's actually the purest form of freedom because it strips away everything that dulls your edge. It's about being unapologetic in your pursuit of what's next. You become sovereign, not by chance, but by choice. Your will is your weapon. Your questions forge your path. Your patience turns your vision into reality. If you're hearing this and feeling that tightening inside, the pressure, the hunger, the refusal to accept anything less, then that's the call. That tension is the signal that your time to transcend the comfortable illusions is now. This revolution isn't about the many. It's built for the few who dare to become more, who will break everything to remake everything better. The world has no infrastructure for exceptional. It never has. So those in the top 0.1% build their own. They construct networks, mental models, and alliances that refuse sameness and celebrate contrast. They don't erase difference. They embrace it as a weapon to forge strength. Through this, they unlock a new unity, one born from radical individuality. So, what's next for you? Are you ready to stop just surviving capitalism and start owning it? To stop playing by rules designed for the average and start creating rules that unleash your true power? The only thing standing between you and that world is the decision to reject the comfort prison and step boldly into the fire. Because here's what the top 0.1% truly know. The only limits you have are the ones you accept. The only chains that bind you are the ones you refuse to break. The only place you belong is the one you build with your own hands, with your own fierce will, and with your own relentless refusal to ever let the system tell you who you can be. It's time to join that edge, not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because it's real, and it's yours. The question is, will you burn brighter than your fears? Will you become one of them? Will you claim the capitalism they mastered and make it your kingdom? No more waiting. No more compromise. Your fire is the source of every empire you can build. So light it up and let no one ever convince you that being exceptional is anything less than your birthright. Because it is. The top 0.1%, they know it. Now it's your turn.